machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Fox's Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.
Yes, welcome to today's daily debate. And today we wanted to talk about, with you guys, everybody watching this, and of course everybody gathered around this table here, where will Leicester finish? So get your views in, get your comments in. If you're watching this live, we'll pop as many as we can on screen. But I guess what we're going to talk about today is where we are today. And obviously we've not sold many players, we've not bought many players, so we can only debate it as on this. We may well do this again probably after the season started a little bit and we know the transfer window shut, but who wants to start? Let's start with you, Sam. What's your basic thoughts on where we are as it stands here? It's obviously Thursday, the 31st of July. We've bought in Begovic and that's about it.
Yeah, well, I was having a conversation with Simon, who does Thursday shows, last night about there's another 10 players or 8 to 10 players that are going to go for free at the end of the year, including Daka, Sumari.
June next year.
Yeah, so they're probably going to stick around because their wages are too high. And if anybody is seriously interested in players like Daka and Sumari, they're not going to spend much money. And for me, those kind of players they're a bit toxic in the club. And I think if we do go on losing streaks, we probably will. It happens to most clubs at some point in the season where you do lose a few games. I think it can affect us quite quickly. So it depends on who stays and who goes, really. I think the team we have now, I think there's still too many bad eggs and bad attitudes, including like Winks, Sumari, Daka, those kind of players, Cody, even.
I don't think Daka's a bad egg.
A bad player, but
do you think Wicks is a bad?
I think he is personally.
Well, he stopped playing for us, didn't he, Winks, last season?
I think
he stopped playing for us.
He stopped playing for us, but then that.
So does that
that's not that wasn't just not down to him. That was down to Rude exiling him from the club.
So when he fell out with the manager, and he didn't want to play.
Just so he also was one of the players that was injured. Bearing in mind in that game that walked off injured. The game before Cuba got sacked, and he was off partying literally the same night.
So he fell out with two. So he fell out with two managers last season.
I'd say yes. I agree.
So does that not make him a bad egg?
I agree with that. But then the year before that, he was one of our best players in the championship.
Oh no, but Sam called him a bad egg, and
I don't care if he's a good player or not. I'm saying he's a bad egg with a bad attitude.
He might be, okay. He might be a bad egg, but again, in a kind of system where he probably really enjoy it, like he did the Enzo system, he would thrive and. Again, probably not do what he was doing last season in the fact of he might not have enjoyed how we were setting up and playing last season, which again, yes, you'd probably call it bad mentality in a way and say that he only wants to play in the way he wants to play. But
who wins?
Yeah, I'd say that in this system, hopefully coming up this new season.
So if he likes how the manager sets up, then he'll play.
Yeah, I get what you're saying about Baggett.
He'll go around a nightclub in Copenhagen.
I wouldn't say you'd go around it,
and then he won't turn up for matches.
I'd still say he's one of the first choices in the squad, even though he is a bad egg. Yeah, and like the title is, I think right now there's every position where there's no certainty for anyone, but right now we could finish bottom. We could finish top 2. We could finish top 6.
No, I think.
Well, you say that, but with the point deduction looming again, it might not happen, but it looks like it will.
Do you think there is even a slim chance?
I think there is a slim chance where things just don't go right for us.
I think we've had, like I said in the last show, that we've had now probably 3 or 4 years where we've tried the system of we buy players, and we've always had it where we sell 1 or 2 players to a top 6 team for big money. But it's not really worked out for us in the last couple of years, the last probably 4 or 5 transfer windows. So now we've bought in a handful of players on a lot of money who haven't worked, and we can't sell them. So now we sort of are stuck with a lot of the players. We've gone on and sold like the Kieran Dewsbury Halls, and we've been left with the Vestergaards. So with our team now should be strong enough to at least get in the top 6.
At least.
And
I
probably
think-
pushing for
I'd
the
say the
automatic
quality of
promotions.
the squad should do that. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm positive in saying that. I think we should be getting to playoffs at minimum.
Yeah,
even with a
Andy
point
Bennett says
deduction.
playoffs minimum.
I think even with a point deduction, like I say, you see the gap in the last couple of years in the Championship of the top 5, 6 to the rest of the league. There's about 15, 20 point difference. That alone from the 9 points or whatever we're going to get should be enough to get us in the top 6.
Well, we don't know about points deduction yet.
Forget,
So
yeah,
I think we shouldn't.
David-
We shouldn't say, "Well, where we're going to finish? Oh,
Yeah.
we're going to get 9 points, so we're going to finish 10th." Because we
well,
don't.
David Green says that, but he says when the points deduction happens or not and the transfer window closes, we get back to you. I agree. Jake, carry on. But we've got no points deduction as it stands, and we've got the players we've got.
No, I don't. Personally, I don't think we will get a points deduction because they've changed the rules so teams can't do what Leicester did, but you can't change the rules and then get punished for it. It's like
I think this is a different situation.
It's like
I think this is not part of that one.
it is part of that.
Well,
one.
it is.
I think it's a rolling year after that, as in the fact of instead of it being the 3 years that they were talking about for that.
but they've
Yeah,
changed
but they
the
didn't
rules
bring the
after.
ruling in until
They've changed the rules
halfway
after
through.
it's happened. So it's like you going today and buying a Big Mac, and then tomorrow the government go, it's illegal to eat a Big Mac, so I'm arresting you because yesterday you ate a Big Mac. You can't.
I don't know. I don't.
Really did eat a Big Mac yesterday, and fish and chips, and a pizza as well.
If that's the rules, then
All in one day.
there's probably numerous amounts of teams that they have to look at as well as Leicester.
Yeah.
So Leicester will go, well, look at Burnley, look at Southampton, look at Leeds, and also look at Man City, which haven't got relegated. But there's numerous amounts of teams who got relegated and might fall under the rule breaking if that's the case. So
David's agreeing with you. David Fallows says, I do think we have a case over the dates. They change the rules, could be another loophole. Listen, that I agree.
It's a
That's what
different
you're
debate,
saying.
but-
It's a different debate. I think we will have a daily debate on the PSR and that. But today is about, I guess, where we're going to finish based on no points deduction because it's not happened yet, and the players we've got in the team now.
I think the
Because
one
that's what we can
reason.
debate.
I think the one reason why I'm like maybe the 2% chances every chance it doesn't go well for us is in the fact that we brought a manager in very late in the preseason. We've not made any transfers so far, which I get because we haven't got the manager to assess the squad. And now we're less than 2 weeks away from the first kickoff in the
We're not
Championship.
9 days. isn't it?
And we are literally in a position where we've not done anything. Whereas Southampton, who are one of the favourites to go back up, have had a manager in for over a month, had transfers in, had all this. We're doing it all now within 10 days, 9 days. This
But we're
is where
not.
I think
we'll still be doing transfers up till
Oh
September.
no, yeah, the window's still open until then, but we're already behind the curve.
I don't think we'll see many players leave. and
Yeah,
don't
I
see
mean,
I think
we're
Big Mac
behind the
is
curve because nobody wants our players.
I mean, Sam, that list you said from Simon,
Yeah.
it just roughly, I know you probably don't remember them all, but
yeah,
these
I
are players
think
who are in their
after
contract
this
with us
championship
in
season,
June
we'll be going for
2026 are free. Yeah,
It's
go.
about 8 players. So from top of my head, James Justin, who we know has been linked to Leeds.
Yeah, seen that.
But could go on a free.
Next June.
Next June. Samari, again, he'll be the one that goes for free. Patson Daka, he'll be one that goes for free.
Ricardo Pereira.
Pereira will be going for free. Marcel will be going for free. Thomas could be going for free. There's Winks
Cody.
and Cody.
Winks, Cody, and Daka. Yeah. Could all go for a free.
If we don't sell them now or in January, they'd all be going for free. But like I said, with those players, they're on way too much wages. I'm surprised that Wrexham want Cody.
I don't think they will.
I don't
budget.
think anyone's going to want Sumari because he's not good enough. Really, I don't think he's proven enough for players to.
I'd say he's clear. I'd say he's clear.
Yeah, I know you think he's clear, really, but he's not 80 grand a week clear, is he? And that's
that's not that. But that was
no players should be being paid.
That is down to the club.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that nobody like Seville are going to say we'll pay you 8 million to sign him.
No, assume when he went to Seville before, we were still paying half his wages.
We're in a position now where in this championship season,
whatever you say, he's a shit.
No, in this championship season now, the likes of Winks or Vestergaard, who we have seen previously in the championship, the last time we saw in the championship, they did do well.
It was 2 years ago.
No, I get that, but would you risk losing the 8 players, 4 or 6 of them, if you can get rid of them,
well, you won't.
and have a lot more weakened squad, considering what we've seen of them last time in the championship?
Keep them
again. If Winks, I know he's on high wages, but for the last season, if he doesn't have a great season, and gets us back up, partly because obviously what he's done as part of the team.
We're not.
I think you'd take
We're
that
not
one
selling
more
him
year.
away. There's no point in having that.
No, I get
conversation
it,
because we're not
but
selling him. Players like
it's-
Winks, Cody, Sumari,
All those players will
Vestergaard,
stay.
they're all on 80 grand a week in the Championship. None of them are going to leave the club because nobody's going to offer them that amount.
Again,
of wages
that's
to get
down to
them.
the club,
That's
isn't it?
based on the fact that most of them
but
are going
again,
to stay
but
because they're here
they're
today.
all the bad attitude players. They're all the ones that are like, I don't care if I play because I'm earning 80 grand a week to sit.
So where does that
£100
make you?
million.
The topic is, where will Leicester finish?
in my
Sam?
honest
So where do you
opinion,
think that group of players,
the
as
group
it
of players
stands
that we
today,
have
they
right
will
now,
be?
again, I think it's all down to mentality. I think if they can switch something in their brains, some of them, to play all right, then I think we can do top six. But with the squad we have now and the way that they could mentally, be, I still think our strike force is pretty weak as well. On top of that, I think we're looking at maybe a mid-table finish. Personally, in my opinion, with the team, I don't think we're much better than that at the moment because
I think the quality of players you've got is
yeah, but I
clearly
think
top
it's a
six.
mental game. I think it's a mental game. It doesn't matter if they're a top six.
But then what about the mentality when we got relegated last time and Enzo came? The mentality completely flipped. And
Yeah,
we
but
literally,
changed
I wouldn't say
new players.
rolled the league.
We did bring in like,
But
5
we-
or 6
We're on about
players that
different
year.
players. So again, for me
Which-
personally, I think we could
What,
get
When-
top
when
six.
under Enzo,
Yeah, we brought in about 4
we did
or 5.
bring. Well, who did
Yeah,
we
but
bring
we've still
in?
got them ones there.
No,
Yeah,
but
no,
who
but
did we
when
bring
you-
in? Winks
Mavadidi, Fatawu,
and Cody.
Winks,
Cody.
But, yeah, that was 4. They're 4 decent
Hermanson,
players.
And yeah,
5.
so when you bring in
Under
4 or
Enzo.
5 players and it refreshes the squad, at the moment we've not refreshed it.
No, but you've
bringing
still
back
got them
Vinci,
players who we know
it
have
doesn't
done
matter
and
because-
proven
Yeah, but that's what
it.
Sam's saying.
You've got a
Saying
squad
they're
of
bad
players
eggs,
who
though.
you've got a squad of players who last season all they knew how to do was lose, and you've not got anyone else bringing in to freshen the squad, push anyone.
So
all
that's
the
what I'm
players
saying. It's a
on and
mentality game.
forward.
If we're mentally ready and we can mentally win the games, that's fine. But if we start losing games, players like Winks, Sumari, Cody, Vestergaard, they're all going to just be like, oh, another day in the office, another week. Let's just get on.
But then you have got the likes of, and I know you're going to say he's not ready for it, but the likes of Nelson who's coming up and probably a bit more, or what probably wants to be in the team,
Yeah,
and
the
like
young lads.
a Vestergaard.
You could argue the young lads
Yeah,
are
Caleb-
like signing
Caleb-
new players.
Caleb
just
Okoli,
don't
who
know.
I didn't think
You
was
just
that
don't know their quality.
You just don't know.
Again, like I said, if you're banking on the team that we just said being a top 6 club, but then they mentally don't want to play, then you put in Nelson in. You don't know how good he's going to be. You don't know how
I
good
think
Longo's going to be.
I think a lot of fans of all the Championship clubs are looking at us thinking they've got some dangerous players this season. In fact, other than the striker position, they're saying Mavadidi, who did quite very well in the Championship last season, Fatawu, who's back, and we can hope. I think he's just as good as some players in other teams in the Championship. I think I couldn't name right now in a full 11 many clubs in the Championship that are probably better than us on paper, at least.
Well, I think the squad we've got at the moment, as it stands today, is probably. I genuinely think it should be top end of the Championship. It's probably too good for the Championship. It's just proven, as we know, it's not good enough.
I think
Those players are not good enough.
I'm not trying to.
They
knock
should
it.
be not too good for the Championship, but they should be right there at the top because
I'm not trying to knock it. I just think it's a mental game. I think for football, for me, at least with the players we have, I've seen it way too often. I mean, we saw it in the preseason game. Cody and Vestergaard, what a bag of spanners they were against a team that were probably our level.
that attitude is what would worry you.
That's
Is
what I
watching
mean,
Cody and
yeah.
Vestergaard in that second game on Friday, just kind of looking like
That's the only thing that worries
slow
me
and
as
not
well.
bothered and moaning. There was moaning on
So
Friday.
the only thing that worries me as well is because the mentality, like Sam said, the mentality of the game is a big part of it. And we have not really faced anyone in pre-season that was what we would deem as a tough game. Cologne was probably the first game where you go, that this is not even, I wouldn't even class it as a challenge. It was probably someone who you should be like maybe 50-50 with. Maybe we should have been better, but we just crumbled. And it worries me a bit that what I saw on that Friday against Cologne was exactly what we were seeing last season. And I know that Cifuentes has not been here for long, so he's not had like months to implement his style, but I couldn't see a difference from what Ruud did last season to what Cifuentes did on that Friday compared. I can't see the difference because it looked exactly the same.
And I would say there's key points for me that looked very different in the fact
Well,
of,
I don't know what.
well, the pressing high on the attacking side of it
But it
when
didn't
they
really
had the
work.
ball.
Yeah,
For me,
it
was
didn't work.
different. Well, the first game in that game, in that day, they did.
The
Very
one
much
against
about
the
that.
one against
No, I
the
know,
farmers at the school field.
Well,
We're talking about Cologne.
Brady, come on, that
Well,
was
I get it, but again,
We're talking
I
about the
would say
the only team we've vaguely played that's vaguely of a level was
I
Cologne.
don't want to say you're
I get that, and I would say that a lot of the players that were out on that
I mean,
pitch, I don't think it was going to be.
Keith says it's almost the same team that won the championship 2 years ago, but without Vardy and with Kim and Dewsbury
it
Hall.
won't
Vardy,
be.
Kim, Dewsbury Hall
So
were
why
two
can't we
biggest
get
players.
promoted?
Yeah, but it also won't be.
They were our two
because
best players that year,
They were, but it also won't be because it's not over yet.
weren't they?
Yeah, they were, but then I would say that we've lost KDH, but we've got El Khanous if he stays, and El Khanous for me is probably technically better than Dewsbury. I think passion-wise,
I would say that
there.
season Dewsbury Hall in the championship was. Well, we won't know how El Khanous is in the championship yet, but that
No.
KDH in the championship had a better season than what El Khanous did, albeit at a higher level in the Premier League.
No, I'm saying
country mark.
technically as a player, I think the qualities that El Khanous has probably
Yeah, but
should be
there's your
doing
big word.
again. I know
Probably.
it's a
Your
good maybe
ifs and
I can't,
probablys.
but
We'll-
that's how
see.
you have to look until you see it.
Yeah.
I'd say on paper, El Khanous had what probably was one of our better players this season, and I think he could do just as good as what Dewsbury did last season.
I mean, don't get Steve says no reason why I can't finish top two.
No.
With no points deduction, with that squad being paid that much money, I would be there saying
You'd have
definitely
to
top
finish-
six, and we should be.
You'd have to
could
finish.
be
You'd have
top
to
two.
finish near 100 points.
I think you have to wait until.
Yeah, you have to finish on about 110
I
points.
think you've got to
if
look
and
at
maybe
it.
things happen, but
Forget
you
PSR.
can't because
Forget
what happens-
points. We can today because we've got no points deduction. So there's no point worrying. 'cause
Okay,
you
on paper you should.
So
you,
as
you-
we are
yeah,
today.
you should probably get.
Do we all agree it's
Maximum
tougher
top
than
four.
2 seasons ago
Yeah.
down?
Yes.
The teams that are in it are harder.
Yes.
Southampton
Yes.
and Ipswich for me are both a couple miles ahead of us. I think they're both better teams.
I think we're better than.
I don't think we are. Southampton.
I'd say
played
players
good
wise, we're
signings,
better
Yeah,
than
get
but
their players.
Southampton were a mess last season, and Ipswich, albeit
Ipswich were
they've
close to
made
us in the
some
I would
Premier
have-
League.
but
Who do we think will be in the top? Who do we think will be the top six teams then with Leicester?
Well, I'd put a massive decider on.
No, you talk. Okay.
Oh,
No, you go.
that is the debate. Massive. I'd put a
Just change the
massive.
title. Read his views.
I'd put a massive debate on Birmingham being up there.
Massive debate. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got this.
Birmingham, Wrexham, Southampton, Ipswich. You'd probably say Leicester as well, but again, there's going to be a few others. Like Bristol City got close to going up that season.
But I don't think they will.
Sheffield
Coventry again, another one.
Sheffield United.
Sheffield United, I don't know. There's about 7 or 8 teams.
West Brom, Norwich, both looking fairly strong
Yeah.
going into the season.
Look, don't forget, West Brom turned down Cifuentes. They didn't think he was good enough.
we should be strong enough. I
I
mean,
think
it's
he
hard to say whether we're going to have a good season or a not so good season because we haven't seen us play in an actual league match. I mean, we could.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
Sheffield
Well,
Wednesday is not a good one to
But it's the
look
same
at.
squad that played last season.
No,
There's no difference.
No.
That for me is the biggest issue. It's
Yeah.
the same squad.
It's
I
the
think
squad that was playing
it's
in
the
the
same
Premier
place
League.
that
But
had the arse to
I think we
play.
had a squad strong enough last season to stay up.
I think we did.
I did at the start of the
The
season.
players were down tooling last year. A lot of them were down tooling.
I think last season we had a team that was good
including
enough to stay up.
Vardy. I think including Vardy was down.
So I think we do have a Premier League team. I think there was just, like Sam said, players
Bottom
down in
level,
tool. I think we made the wrong choices in
Appointments.
appointments. We made the wrong choices in transfers,
Yeah.
and I think we messed up. But I still think we had a strong enough team to stay up.
We could have stayed
controlled
up last year
Yeah.
with just a bit of better probably management.
If we
January
if
was
we
a waste of
changed how
time.
we did things in probably February, March time, we could be sitting here having a different.
The thing
discussion.
is, nothing's really
Well-
changed from the end of last season to now. Apart from a new manager, nothing's changed.
I would
So-
go out and say that Andy King's done a very good job in getting players fit and ready to go for the new season. We have seen the stats and proven.
What stats?
We've seen that the players are more a better shape and better fitness than they have been over the last 2 or 3 years.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
Where
No,
have you seen those stats?
Andy King and all the staff have actually come out in like articles and stuff and said that they are in a much better shape than they have been in the last.
Well, they're not going
Well,
to
yeah,
say they're in
but they're
worse
always
shape.
going to say that.
They're not going to
Oh,
say
sorry,
they're
you
in
said
worse
you'd
shape.
seen stats.
I've not actually seen them myself. I'm saying that
It's not a
people have
stat,
come
that's
out
a biased
at the club
person.
and said that.
Yeah,
they're
but
in
that's
a
like
lot
Donald,
better-
that's like Donald Trump saying America's the best country in the world.
Yeah.
He's the president. He's obviously going to say that.
I get it, but
You're just going.
I
Like,
would
what
still
someone
say
who's
I
been
would
manager
still
of the club for a couple
I would still
We
say
don't
the
know
players.
how fit they are. They didn't look fit against Cologne.
Well, yeah, because I don't think half of them players are going to be playing the first.
Well, no, but
game.
you've just said they're so fit, and I'm like, well,
Yeah,
that,
you're playing with
I'm yet
some
to see
players
it.
who are over 35 or 33.
Well, that's the squad we've got.
Well,
And who's over 35?
well, people who feel like they're over 35 anyway. Cody and
This is just waffle.
Does Reedy
This is
just make
waffle.
up?
You do just
He
make up.
just makes
What?
up.
I'd
I've
rather
got this
see
down, I've
I'd
got
rather
that.
see a 21-year-old centre back be in the team than a
but we
33-year-old
You
defender.
just
But we also need to get promoted this year. Otherwise, we're in a
Yeah.
financial mess.
No, I
And
get
you
it.
can't rely on 21-year-old Ben Nelson, 16-year-old
Well,
Jeremy
you
Mongo.
can if they do a good
No,
job
no,
in the
no,
team.
no. I'm saying you can't, to start with, rely on them. They come on.
they could do it.
Ben Nelson and Jeremy Mongo do not start against Sheffield Wednesday.
I would say
they
that
come off the
someone like
bench.
Ben Nelson's my first choice.
No, but he's no one else's because
I'd say a lot of fans
yes,
in
because
the Leicester
but
chat.
you don't know
would say
how
that.
good he's going to be. He could play and you could go, this guy's crap. So why not just bring him on for the last 20, 30 minutes, see what he's
Who would
like.
you start? Sandman. I know it's
Probably-
not the debate, but
Well, just right now as it stands, probably Ockley and FaZe.
one player that you've said that needs to get out of the club.
Well, yeah, FaZe does need to, but he's not going to because no one's going to pay for him. So use him. He's a
And then
Belgium
watch him in the
international,
game
use
and
him.
moan at him for doing things wrong.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying I'd rather see someone who probably wants to be in the
I
team
mean, Ben
and try
Nelson
it.
might start.
Yeah, he might start, but we can't sit here and say 21-year-old Ben Nelson who's just come back from Oxford.
See,
United,
David
like-
says Nelson is one, and then FaZe or Okoli
Yeah,
is
but
the
you
other.
can't. I don't think you
Maybe.
start him straight away. I think you have to ease him into it. Maybe
He's
play
been
him
in the championship. I know he got injured, but it was in a championship season. That's
Yeah,
it.
and
playing
the
for
bottom
Oxford, playing
four.
in a team that
team.
probably would never have been anywhere near the top anyway. So
No, yeah.
No, yeah,
again, in a
but
better squad,
But if you're
mentality,
a
yeah.
manager, and managers have to look after their own job as well. If he's got a Belgium international player who plays for Belgium week in, week out, or game in, game out, or Ben Nelson, Cifuentes might pick Ben Nelson, but he might also go, do you know what? That FaZe has looked all right in training, and he is a Belgium international.
FaZe did pretty good in the championship season as well.
no, I'm not denying.
And then you've got, like I said, you've got Vestergaard, who I really don't want to see, but you've got Vestergaard, who's there. You've got Cody, who's a leader.
But
and you've
but then
got
you'd say,
Ockley, who
would
we
you?
paid what? How much we pay for?
But this is
15 million.
But this is
for?
where I'd say if you want to
So you
pick
got
the
four.
likes of Vestergaard or Cody, why are you not picking Bobby Reed or AU on the wings, or I don't know, or skipping midfield?
Well, Bobby Reed on the wing is
Makes
clearly
no
not a
sense.
number one pick for
What do you
anybody.
want?
is
Why
it?
would you
I'm just
pick
saying
them
you
over
want more of the
Matic?
experienced players.
No, we're not
I'm not
saying
saying that. I'm just saying you've got a Belgium international, or you've got Ben Nelson under 21.
I think that you're not.
Oxford
I don't think
United.
what you're grasping is you just pick the players that are
I think
better.
Ben Nelson will become a good
You
player.
don't
but
know
we
how
can't chuck him
we
in
don't know
right
how
now.
good Nelson
No,
is.
you took, but yeah,
when
how are you
we're
going
aiming
to
for
find that
top
out until
two.
you play him?
Yeah, I get playing, but once if he has 5 bad games, are we then all going to harp and say, well, he's bad. He's a bad player.
No,
don't play him.
if he plays the first game of the season and I see you don't,
I mean,
do
do we-
well, I would say that.
Well, let's switch
But
it
that's
around.
what I mean. You're
Do we-
giving him one game for him to be bad.
I mean, this is probably its own debate in its own right. But
Mm.
do we think Monga's going to start against
No,
Sheffield Wednesday?
Unless
Don't
I
you?
think unless Elkanous
No,
leaves,
Don't you think you will?
I think if Elkanous leaves, yes.
In
Because
what position?
Mavididi
He's not better than
and Fatu-
Fatu, and he's not better than Mavididi. Not yet, anyway. In
I'd
the
say-
preseason games,
Do
again,
you- I thought one of you would say Monga will start. I think he
If
will
Elkanous
start.
goes, I think he will.
I
What,
think
in
so too.
Elkanous's role?
No, I think Mavididi will play in the 10.
I think so too.
yeah,
That's the only
either
reason Monga would start because
Mavididi
we need more. We need more.
Monga's featured a lot in pre-season.
Yes. And again, I would. But then who would you take the spot off? That's where I'd say
Mavididi.
no. I'd say Mavididi and Fasaru are a must in that first game.
I would
Well,
say Mavididi's a must.
I
I'd
don't
say
think Mavididi's a must.
Fatu's
Fatu
up
if
there
he's
for
fit.
first team player.
I could-
If Monga's better than Mavididi, then Monga's better than
You could
Mavididi.
argue
I have no
Monga
problem
versus
with that.
Mavididi, but like I said again, it's the first game you want to win. Sheffield Wednesday are a mess.
That's
You
if
just
we
wanna
can play
win-
it at this
Well,
rate.
yeah, you just want to win that game, so just play the experience. Don't play Nelson, who might have a mistake in him, or Monga, who might not do anything. I'm not saying they would. I think they'll become really good players and valuable for us.
Well,
But you can't chuck them in after just having one pre-season where they've just come through the academy.
I mean,
You can't just chuck them in.
we've all said Fiorentina this weekend is probably going to be a more close to our first 11 team that we're going to know. And Fiorentina are definitely better than us. They are probably a few steps ahead of us.
Finished top. Were they top 6?
Yeah. So they're
think
going to
so,
be a
yeah.
harder team for us to face. It'll be good to see what a full 11 can do against a better team than us. 'Cause, you know, if we're considering ourselves a top 6 club, and if they're at the same level, if not a bit better than us, we'll see what we can do. You'd like to think we play a full 11, a starting 11 against them, because it's the following weekend, isn't it? That we're then playing Sheffield Wednesday. So,
I mean, it's a debate we'll come back to, because the debate in a week or 2 weeks' time will be very, very different.
If we lose El Canoes,
if we lose El Canoes,
if we lose Mads Hermansen,
I think we all assume Hermansen's going.
No, but it's still
if,
the case.
I think more for me is like, if you get a 12-point deduction, you really are. I'm really, really, really struggling to see us being.
But that's why I'm only
playing
looking at it now and thinking,
yeah, but we're not there.
If that happens, you've got to think of how much more you've got to do. And that is basically, if it's 12, you've got to get 4 more wins.
But as it stands today, 31st of July, as it is, let's go round. Sam, let's pick a number that you think Leicester will finish in the league next season.
right now, I'd say 8th.
So we don't even make the playoffs, and that's not even based. That's not based on points deduction. That's just on the squad.
Yeah, sure. Maybe 7th then. But
Still out of it.
Still out.
like I said, I think we can, but I think it's a mental game. I think there's too many players in that squad currently that bring down tools and really bring the mental side a bit down.
Yeah. Well, we won't know on that. So 7th or 8th.
Yeah.
As it is.
As it is.
I mean, a 12-point deduction on that would take you very mid-table. But carry on.
I'd say as it is now, 3rd.
As it is now, 3rd. So
I think there's a chance you can get higher, but I'm saying around 3rd because I think if it was the point deduction, I'd say you'd still be in the playoffs, just nowhere near top.
So George has said first here. If you're watching this, before we come to Jake and My's view, just let us know where you think we'll finish, and it is based on now. Patrick says depends on the points deduction. I know, Patrick, but just based on no points deduction, because we don't know it's going to happen for sure.
Good odds.
Just let us know where you think we'll be in there. Keith's saying 8th. Who's finishing above us then? Well,
7 better teams.
There's a lot of teams this
There's
season.
some good
They're
teams,
there.
That's what I mean.
We had what?
For me, Wrexham and Birmingham, they're both playoffs.
Yeah,
I think
I
it'd be
would say
surprising.
they're
I think they're both playoff teams.
And then you've got Sheffield United, who nearly did it. You've
Norwich,
got
West Brom,
Sheffield United,
Ipswich,
Southampton.
They're all teams that look
West Brom.
stronger and
It's
better
not hard,
than us.
Keith, to put 7 teams ahead of
George,
us.
the league is not awful this year. It got some very good
The
teams
league-
in it. Teams that have come up, bought obviously by American owners, Birmingham and Wrexham, both owned by American people now that are putting a lot
They're
of money
going
in
that.
investment.
They're both going
Yeah.
that way, up. And
They're 2 teams that, trust me, they'll surprise you this
The
year.
league,
Middlesbrough could come better.
the league. When we won the league last time, there was what maximum 3 to 4
Southampton
teams
and Leeds. That was
in
it.
the run.
Yeah, and there were
Now
4
there's
teams.
8,
And then it was
9,
Ipswich
maybe
came
even
out of
10 that could be it.
Yeah.
We're not being negative. We're just.
Yeah, George is saying don't be negative. I think we're just.
I think there's every
debating
chance
as
we
is.
don't get top 2 because there's going to be too many teams challenging for it.
It's just been realistic. You got to look at it from an actual point of view rather than a blue tinted point of view. You got to look at it from these teams around us. I know we don't watch them week in, week out, but if you look at the movements that they're actually doing, Wrexham, they're close to signing Christian Eriksen from Man United. It's
they're definitely being linked with lots of players.
Well, yeah, I've got Danny Ward in goal, so we've got a chance.
Were you watching them a great season?
Yeah,
Probably.
You watched Danny Ward when we played them save everything.
Probably because of the mentality at our club is just
But
absolutely.
I also think he's going to be their sub. But carry on, Jake. Come on then. Where do you think?
I
You are.
personally think I would be surprised if we didn't get top 2.
Yeah,
But that's just because
without a point deduction.
I'm not,
Yeah, as we are.
No, that's fine, yeah.
I think I'd be very surprised if we didn't get top
that's what
2
Keith says.
because I think we have pretty much a very similar strengthened squad as we did 2 years ago. And 2 years ago, I think we could have done a lot. We could have made the championship a lot easier of a job for ourselves. I think we
had a bad run, didn't we?
We made
Both
it hard
10
for
games.
ourselves, and we could have got promoted way before we actually did. So I think, I think with the players we've got, we should get top 2. I think Ipswich look like they could be back up there. Southampton could as well, but obviously Southampton had a poor end to their season last season.
And they have lost a few players.
And they've lost a couple of players. Like we said, you said you've got Birmingham and Wrexham, they're on the up, but they're still miles ahead in terms of quality.
Miles behind. We're miles ahead.
We're miles ahead in terms of quality compared to where they are.
Before Phil,
They might get top 6, but we should get top 6.
very quickly before Phil goes.
Ipswich. They got second.
Yeah, very quickly before Phil says his one is the fact of, like you say Ipswich and Southampton. Ipswich have lost their best striker as well. We've lost Vardy.
Yes, they lost Delap.
Yeah, they've lost the lap to Chelsea.
Yeah.
again, there's other teams where Sheffield United look like their striker from what we look like. He's going to Wrexham, is it?
Yeah.
Again, they're the ones going, right, he's a good striker.
That shows you Wrexham's ambition. If they're going to Sheffield United, who lost out in the playoff final, and they're taking their striker off, he's got that. Kiefer Moore scored a good amount. Was it 18, 20 goals last year?
All I know is he's a big boy.
Big boy.
Go on, what do you think?
Well, as it stands today, like we keep saying, with no points deduction, I'm with Jake. We should be fighting to be in that top two. It's hard to know whether you'd be first, second, third, or fourth, but I think we should be definitely in that fight. I think we are just that striker short, which is my biggest concern. Do I see Ayew getting 15 to 20 goals if he's striker? Maybe. There's so many questions. Will Monga be that electric person that we all hope and take the league by the storm? Maybe. Hope so. Will El Khanous, if he stays, could be fantastic in the Championship. You know, there is lots of if, buts and maybes, but as it stands today with that squad and that amount of money that they're being paid, and I always come back to that, we've got players on 50, 70, 80, 90 grand a week. We're playing teams like QPR and Millwall and Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday can't even pay their players.
Can't even make the team.
They don't even know if they've got a team. So when we play half the league, Oxford United, no offence to them, it's chalk and cheese. It's like how Man City must feel when they play us in the Premier League. We should win. We should win most weeks, home and away, and we should be in that top two. I'm with Jake. Yeah.
And there's an odd time where
as it stands,
there's just gonna be an odd time where you just don't get it right and you do lose, like we did last time in the Championship.
I also hear what some say.
I don't disagree with you.
I do think there is
we could be
a bad smell in the club, and there's players missing. For me, and players going to go.
We're the only club in the Championship. I think maybe even in the English league. That's we've not got a sponsor. We've not announced many. We've only just announced.
I can't even buy a home shirt.
We've not sold any players. We've only just signed a goalkeeper, a third choice goalkeeper. For me, it's just when I look at it, it's run poorly, and I think it shows, and it gets brought into every aspect of the club. I don't think personally we're running it as if we're ready for the Champions. I think we're running it as we're lackadaisical. We're running behind. We are not trying to catch up. We are just slowly cruising, and it will just be what it will be next year. Because I don't think Top's interested. I don't think Rudkin's interested. I think with just all the players we have still at the club, like I said, the Winks, Sumaris, Cody's, Vestergaard, Fizers, those kind of players who, if they are, like you say, on 80 grand a week and should be good enough to get us to top two, are they mentally wanting to do that? Because we all know Sumari and Fiz want to go. They don't want to be at Leicester. Everyone knows that they don't want to be here, apart from the pay. So they're getting paid every week. It's not like if they do a bad job, they don't get paid. No. So they don't really care if they play well or not.
Well, I get that. And there's things like even Ndidi only came back to the club last year because nobody else wanted him. It does feel like, even Begovic.
Trust me, my opinion might change.
38-year-old keeper. God knows what we're paying him. I hope we're not paying him ridiculous.
He's only on a 1-year contract. So
sure. But
my opinion might change in 2 weeks if we sell some of these players and bring in some new players. But as it stands right now, we're playing with the same team effectively. Yeah. So
the issue is the only players you can sell are the players you actually would want to keep, like Matt and Bilal. You want to keep them.
Yeah,
and the players
they're the ones that are going to go.
But they're the ones that you need to sell to get somebody else in.
The players you want to sell, you can't.
Right, listen, guys. Thanks. We've completely overrun because it's a big topic, and we'll come back to where will Leicester finish probably at least once more, if not twice more, when things change. Because I think that will happen. Anyway, listen, everybody, thanks for all your views and comments. Don't forget tonight, the guys are doing their show. So that's on live tonight at 7:30. Thanks to Reedy, Jake, Sam, and everybody who's watched. We'll see you very, very soon.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Fox's Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.